Step 3. Building test items from propositions. General Item Writing Guidelines. STIGGINS suggests the following general guidelines when writing all selected response assessment items.
Write clearly in a sharply focused manner.
Be brief and clear. Your goal is to test the mastery of the material, not students' ability to figure out what you're asking.
Ask a question.
When you force yourself to ask a question, you force yourself to express a complete thought in the stem of the question, which usually promotes respondents' clear understanding.
Aim for the lowest possible reading level.
You do not want to let students' reading proficiency prevent them from demonstrating that they really know the material.
Eliminate clues to the correct answer either within the question or across questions within a test.
The article "an" at the end of a stem requires a response beginning with a vowel. As only one is offered, it must be correct. This question calls for a plural response. As only one is offered, it must be correct.
Have a qualified colleague read your items to ensure their appropriateness.
Having a willing colleague review your work takes just a few minutes and can save a great deal of time and assure accuracy of results.
Double-check the scoring key for accuracy before scoring.
This, too, can save a great deal of time. Guidelines for multiple choice items. STIGGINS advises when creating multiple choice items, we keep these guidelines in mind.
Ask a complete question to get the item started, if you can.
This has the effect of placing the item's focus in the stem, not in the response options.
Don't repeat the same words within each response option. Rather, reword the item stem to move the repetitive material up there.
This will clarify the problem and make it more efficient for respondents to read.
Be sure there's only one correct answer or best answer.
Remember, it is acceptable to ask respondents to select a best answer from among the set of answers. Just be sure to word the question so as to make it clear they are to find the best answer.
Word response options as briefly as possible and be sure they are grammatically parallel.
This has two desirable effects. First, it makes items easier to read. Second, it helps eliminate grammatical clues to the correct answer.
Vary the number of response options presented as appropriate to pose the problem you want your students to solve.
Please try not to use all of the above or none of the above merely to fill up space, just because you can't think of other incorrect answers. Guidelines for true-false exercises. STIGGINS states there is only one simple guideline to follow when creating true-false items.
Make the item entirely true or false as stated.
Complex idea salads, including some truth and some falsehoods, just confuse the issue. Guidelines for matching items. STIGGINS suggests when creating matching exercises, we follow all of the multiple choice guidelines. Additionally, you will want to
Provide clear and concise directions for making the match.
Keep the list of things to be matched short.
The maximum number of options is 10. Fewer is better.
Keep the list of things to be matched homogeneous.
Don't mix events with dates or names. Be sure to focus the exercise.
Keep the list response options brief in their wording and parallel in construction.
Pose the matching challenge in clear, straightforward language.
Include more response options than STEMs, and permit students to use response options more than once.
This has the effect of making it impossible for students to arrive at the correct response through the process of elimination. Guidelines for fill-in items. STIGGINS gives us 3 simple guidelines to follow when creating fill-in items.
Ask respondents a question and provide a space for an answer.
The use of incomplete statements as item stems is acceptable. If you use them, be sure to capture the essence of the problem in that stem.
Try to stick with 1 blank per item.
Ask 1 question, get 1 answer, and move on to the next question.
Don't let the length of the line to be filled in be a clue as to the length or nature of the correct response.
This may seem elementary, but it happens. Again, this can misinform you about students' real levels of achievement. Mix formats together. STIGGINS suggests we can generate some interesting and useful assessments by mixing the different formats.
Using true-false within the framework of a multiple-choice question.
Mix true-false and multiple-choice formats to create exercises in which respondents must label a statement true or false and select the response option that gives the proper reason it is so. Interpretive exercises. STIGGINS suggests utilizing interpretive exercises when you want to assess student reasoning using selected response assessment.
Interpretive exercises are used when you want students to apply content.
With this format, you provide information to respondents in the form of a brief passage, a chart, a table, or a figure, and then ask questions calling for them to interpret or apply that material. Format the test carefully. STIGGINS gives us a few guidelines for setting up your test.
Make sure the student knows the point value for each assessment item. This will help them use their time wisely.
Start the test with relatively easy questions. This lessens test anxiety.
Same format questions presented together.
Be sure all parts of a question appear on the same page of the test.
Make sure all copies are clear and readable.
Summary. STIGGINS guidelines for creating quality selected response assessments are crucial for creating meaningful assessment. STIGGINS asks we remember the following.
Be clear and focused.
Be sure to ask questions.
Eliminate inappropriate clues to the correct answer.
Peer review of questions.
Follow format guidelines for good questions.
In conclusion, when test items are carefully developed, there is only one clearly best answer. Taking the time to learn to use these guidelines result in quick and easy test item development.